Hi students, welcome to Vijayata IAS Academy. We are discussing this video as part of the Hindu editorial analysis. In the Hindu, there is an important article related to health sector. So health sector, now let us see what is the context for which it was given and also what are the contents of this particular editorial. The context is now there is war going on between Russia and Ukraine. Many Indians are pursuing medical studies in Ukraine. This is the context. So he is saying the war in Ukraine has brought to the fore the plight of Indian students, many of them pursuing medicine. In this context, our Prime Minister in a webinar on Union Budget announcements on health sector, he highlighted that many young Indians were going to small countries of the world for medical education, and therefore we have to encourage the private sector along with the state governments so that many medical colleges are set up. Most of the students may not require to go to the other countries. This is what the context. Under this, in this context, it was given. Here it is talking about entire medical system or medical education ecosystem. What are the present challenges and what are the suggestions for improvement in health sector? So this is the broad theme of this editorial. It is talking about traditionally most sought after destinations are US, UK and few Western European countries. However, these destinations are too expensive for many Indians. That's why in recent decades, Russia, China, Ukraine, they are emerging as important destinations. Earlier, US, UK, Western European countries were main destinations. Due to cost, other countries like China, Russia and Ukraine, due to some increasing quality education in these countries, and also it became affordable for Indians. Because of these factors, these countries are becoming important destinations or favorable destinations for Indian medical education. That is why these countries are emerging as important destination, but now there is a problem between Russia and Ukraine. Now there is safety for Indian medical students in Ukraine as of now. These shortcomings are pushing India to think about the education system or medical education system in India and how to improve our medical education system. Article is highlighting about there is a lot of requirement for infrastructure. It is saying the medical education requires significant infrastructure like land, equipment, trained faculty. These are the main important requirements for good healthcare infrastructure to train students and to develop quality doctors. These requirements are necessary. However, this is not about only few years. For so many years, this sector is not given due attention. The kind of spending on health sector is not sufficient. The anemic spending on health is not unique to this government. For several years, India's spend on healthcare has consistently trailed several countries comparable to its size, which is why there is barely one doctor for every 1,000 Indians. So this shows that one doctor for every 1,000 Indians, still it is a challenge. So many Indians are requirement of doctors, nurses and other medical staff. We are yet to walk a lot of distance to cover this gap. So this is what editorial is highlighting. However, in the name of creating more educational facilities or mere educational colleges will not serve the purpose. Article is talking medical education should not become like a engineering, because there are so many engineering colleges, many students are coming out of engineering colleges. However, there are no proper facilities in engineering colleges, no proper equipment, no proper trained personnel, no proper other infrastructure facilities which will train quality engineering students. After coming out of engineering colleges also, once again in pursuance of employment, they are taking new courses. Then it is coming to the fundamental question, what is the purpose of engineering college? So similarly, medical education should not turn into similar kind of chaos or this kind of engineering system should not enter into medical education. And also there is another problem for India. There is India's huge population still continues to be predominantly rural. But most of the trained medical doctors, paramedics and nurses gravitate towards cities. Now in rural areas, requirement of a lot of medical personnel is required. So based on these two main problems, suggestions article is suggesting that government must spend ease procedure for establishing medical colleges. No doubt more medical colleges are required. At the same time, infrastructure development is also important. So it is suggesting government should spend or give attention to infrastructure like road. Then only the ecosystem for medical colleges will grow. Provide incentives for a healthcare ecosystem to develop in rural areas. So requirement of rural areas, requirement of healthcare ecosystem in rural areas, development of infrastructure, and also giving ease norms for medical colleges. And also it takes time. Over time, this could facilitate the growth of private and public medical colleges that could stem the outflow of students aspiring to be doctors. This article started about Indian students are going abroad to pursue medical education. If these developments take place within India, this can stop the Indian students going abroad for basic medicine education. So private investment by itself, just by private investment alone is not sufficient. Government should focus on infrastructure also and providing incentives to rural areas to provide education facilities in rural areas. These will develop an ecosystem where Indians will get quality education within India in medical sector. It will stop making people to choose abroad as a choice for medical education. This is broad theme of this particular editorial which is given in the Hindu newspaper. Thank you.